Welcome to a new test and teardown video. This time we are going to look at a very old instrument from Italy. I'm so sorry, but I don't even dare to try and say this. I just don't speak Italian. I am so sorry. But this has something to do about measurement, and this has something to do with outside in the field, right? And this is, of course, from Milano. And that will be the type number EP504B. So far, so good. So it's a field measurement unit. And first, when I was looking at this, I didn't really look at the name. And then I thought, hey, this is probably a signal generator because we got all sorts of channels, canali. So that would be the bands, right? And this is tuning, and this is power off, and this is on mains, and this is on a battery input. This means headphones. The biggest problem I have with translation is this one. I think this means to bring or to take with you, but that just don't make any sense. In this case, I think this has something to do with sensitivity or level, range, something like that, right? I think this is the input here, and then there's an attenuator. So this is the input range, and then you can read the level of the incoming signals, right? And I think that this is the different bands of television bands or some other bands. Maybe if I had the manual, this could be translated to some frequency ranges, but at least they've been nice to name one of them FM band. So at least I know where to start. The problem is I cannot move this one at all, so it's completely corroded. So I need to open it. This one moves nicely, power on off moves nicely, and this one also moves quite all right. Funny sounds, huh? Oh, it is very heavy. I had it on my scale, 5.8 kilos, and it's sadly quite corroded. So maybe this paint was only a thin layer, so a little bit of rain. And then it looks like this. Obviously, it is very, very old. And here is something I really want you to see. This is the mains entry connector. What kind of a weirdo size is this? And also, I really want you to see the voltage selector and fuse in one go. That is some wonderful design. Look at that. And then the different voltage ranges. It's a weird span. So it covers all sorts of weirdo voltages. All the way to 280. I mean, they just picked some random voltages out of what the heck is this? That is some weirdo. Why don't they have 230 and 40? I mean, 280. Why? Yeah. So that is some funny thing. Now I'll try and see if I can figure out how to open it, because I don't really know yet. I got some screws here from the front, so maybe I just go ahead and unscrew something here. And then let's have a look if I'm lucky. But it's going to be fun to see what is in here. I expect it to be tube based. Maybe there's only one little tube to drive the meter, right? But it can also run on 6 volts. So maybe why is that possible? So it can't be tube based, right? We are now inside. It was not that difficult to open this unit. And it is far more complex than I initially guessed. Look at that. Here is an OA2 voltage regulator tube. that one will be a vibrator. And that explains the 6-volt operation. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tubes. That is probably IF chain, IF detection amplifier and all that kind of stuff. And we got some local oscillator tubes, oscillator and amplifier tubes, or mixer tubes. And you're gonna love this. This is the mains entry. Big fat bridge rectifier right there. Selenium. So this is also a good indicator of its age. So it's probably around 1960, or actually a little bit before that maybe. And yeah, that will be the fine tuning. And here is the carousel switch for all the many different bands. And like I said before, I'm really sorry and sad about all the bands just named some letters, so we don't really have a clue about what is going on. But I also figured out why the carousel was not moving, and that was because this was broken in a way that it could not move. So I removed it, and of course I can't really repair this kind of springy piece of metal. And the idea with this is that it should, let me see if I can show you guys this better. Yeah, here we go. So the idea is it's sitting up here in this little screw, right? And then this one goes and do like diggity dig, and then hold all the different steps in the correct position. So a carousel like this with all those switch points will have different inductors and capacitors and such here for local oscillator and for mixer and filter, and those are of course connected when you select the right band. And I carefully cleaned exactly this band because this is the FM band and I got no idea about the other band. So I'm gonna dial this in and hit the switches down here for the FM band, and then I will of course try and power it up. But we got a little bit of a problem, I guess. Let's see if I'm able to video this. I don't know about this. So this power resistor here, it is half the way into this capacitor. It's the heat from this resistor melted, and it's, I don't know, it is really far inside that component. It's probably not that easy to document from this direction, no matter what I do. Yeah, it really doesn't look that bad on the video, but I can tell you that it is far inside that component. So yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that. Also, yeah, you can see the different amplifiers and filters, and all this is nicely tuned. And that will be the carousel contacts down here. So all I have to do is dial this one in. Here we go. That will be FM. So now I know that is good. Maybe I should try and clean it up a little bit, because it's also smelling a little bit. You can see there's a thick layer of old nasty. We could also just try and power up with 6 volts and see what happens. That is a lot of fun if the vibrator works. So let's try and power this up on 6 volts. This is going to be a lot of fun. Oh, the vibrator runs. And it's running at 6 amps. Let's turn off the light. Yes, see, we got filament. Oh, that is so cute. And I got light in the indicator. I need to go and measure some high voltages and stuff. What do you know? It actually works. Look at that. Look at the meter, and here's my tuning. And then we go back. And here is FM band. And my signal generator is 100 megahertz, just 10 millivolts. And I can, of course, change the sensitivity. And then I can tune for it as well. So all this is perfectly fine. And let's try and crank up some modulation. So that will be the headphones. I just found a little speaker here and I connected that one. So if I mean, this is funny because this is FM, right? So you would expect this one to FM demodulate or decode or whatever, right? So FM does not work. Here we go. AM 100% AM, and then you can hear the tone. I really don't want this to be really loud. And then I can turn the RF on and off, and it decodes. It demodulates the AM, and then you can hear it. Oh, mena, it really works. That is funny. And it's using about 22 watts or something like that on the 6 volt input. I should probably try and connect this to the mains input, right? So I can turn this off, and then I can crank it to mains voltage. Ooh, it's gonna be scary, isn't it? So let's try and run it on mains. So I connected this, and now I will try and crank up my vario. Just real slow. And all goes perfectly fine. This is 100 volt and 150. It can just go all the way to 220 because I can see the power consumption is 26 watts. So, and as you hear, now it's easier to hear really what is going on because, and then I can turn on and off the AM modulation off like that, and then I can yeah. So FM works. I really would like to figure out how old this unit is. So if anybody who's watching this video is able to Google anything or figure anything out, I'll be really, really happy. How old is this thing, please? So after I figured out that everything here works, I think it could be fun to figure out how this carousel switch is working. So here is how it works. They're also, they're always quite easy to pull out those sections, but I only take out one section at a time because I want to be able to get this back into working order. And you can't mount these wrong because you can see they're not symmetric. So there's this little locking mechanism here, and this is how you put it back in. 2 inductors, and that is of course for the oscillator or mixer or some tuning in the filter or some stuff like that, right? You can look in here, we got all the different ones. Yeah, they definitely made it so it's impossible to mount this because you can see there we got 2 of these, and it goes in like that, right? Really nice. I kind of like carousel switches. That is a genius that figured that out. It goes really, really tight, even in the non-contacted position, but that is probably why it was broken, because somebody's been poking around with it and maybe everything here is bent or whatever. yeah. What else can I show you guys? There's not a lot else to see, really. We have already been through more or less the whole circuit with the vibrator, the voltage generation with the voltage reference, and yeah, then we got 3 amplifier sections here. We could probably get, yes we could, and they are probably the same tubes if I am not guessing wrong here, but let's have a little quick look. Come to Papa. Yeah, exactly. Those are really cute. Maybe we can see a little bit. I really like the Philips sticker here, but I don't know the age. It says something about TASSA and then radio. I don't want to mix these up. And that one. This is of course cracked because of the heat. ECF 80. Yeah, so this is a triode and a pentode in one package. You can easily see a very simple tube out here, and then a more complex one. So it's quite easy to identify what is what when you're working with the tubes compared to transistors. You can even see the pinouts and everything. I kind of really love to work with tubes, to be honest. Anyway, I didn't want to show you a lot more. Except for the little OA2 voltage regulator tube. Shines nice and red, by the way, but most of the glow is inside here, but you can see it a little bit. So, but anyway, that is what I wanted to show you about this really funny oldie Italian field radio detector or something. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you had a little bit of fun. Please come back again soon. Bye bye.